What's up, motherfuckers? It's an episode of Forgive My Foul Mouth Friday, and I'm feeling it. Fucking Forgive My Foul Mouth Friday today. It's another episode of Low Tech Health. Let ourselves translate expert knowledge. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm glad that you're here. We're wrapping up our week of strengthening our constitution. And what is constitution? By talking about Kubler's stages of grief, which everybody experiences. I'm experiencing it right now. I just slipped into the stage of anger. So for those who don't know, is it fucking Kubler-Ross, or is he the guy who has post-conventional morality? Am I fucking up? Kubler-Ross model of grief. Yeah. No shit. 5 stages. So you got denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. These are all stages that aren't linear. They're sometimes cyclical and even intermittent. There's no resolution. Acceptance can come and then anger can take its place immediately. So this is especially important in this podcast because a low tech is let ourselves translate expert knowledge. I started this to try to help explain why you came to the hospital, what's been going on, and what could have caused this. I actually got to hear that last night. A patient had come in with 100% occlusion of his RCA. That's right, and in a completely blocked artery. I was in the cardiovascular ICU, which is where they send patients who've had heart surgery, any type of catheterization where they stick a tube and put another little stent, a drug-eluting stent that has anticoagulation medicine in this little straw that goes in a blocked vessel and opens it up. And damn it if I didn't forget my fucking cardiology Littman 3 stethoscope, a fucking stethoscope that I don't really even need to have. And the one time I'm sent to a place that I could actually use it, CV, ICU, I forget it. So I use this old flimsy disposable stethoscope, which you can hear mostly everything the same with it. Anyways, this patient, 100% occluded, had a stent put in, and wakes up as he's in a little bit of pain, but he's alive. He could have died. He could have died very, very easily. He could have died. But he's anti-medicine. So when he wakes up, he has a lot of questions, a lot of things he's trying to learn. And so how could this have happened? And I even heard the doc go, well, where do we start? Do we go evolutionarily? How does this happen? Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans and people in the entire world. It's hard to explain all this to a patient who is, I wouldn't say opposed to medicine, but generally leaning towards alternative medicine, avoiding pharmaceuticals as best as he can and using herbs, non-medicinal alternatives. Which, if alternative medicine had any clout, if it had any merit, it'd be called medicine. So he doesn't know what's going on. He's not trusting. This guy's trying to save his life. Already did save his life. He's trying to explain how he's going to refuse and talk about this, that, and the other, and really pin down some details, which explains these stages. He's in bargaining. First, it's denial. This couldn't have happened. There's no way. How could it have happened? Bargaining. Well, do I need to take this medicine? Can I take this one and not this one? I really want my liver to do well. If your heart's not beating, your liver doesn't matter. These are all back and forth. Not a whole lot of anger expressed, but I could see it in his eyes. Very polite man, but no man likes to be told by another man what to do or to press a button to call you and you gotta go to the bathroom, especially if you're anti-medicine. There's no fucking way he's pro-hospital, which I can level with him. I never thought I'd be in a hospital either. I hate them. It scared me. They terrified me. That's where all the sick people go. What the fuck is that about? So, I didn't have my stethoscope. Fucked me right. And damned if I didn't have a great night. There just seems to be a preponderance of bad shit happening all around in the country, and it's really angering me. I wish I could stop watching the news and stop paying attention to these protests and this just egregious destruction of human life, not just people getting hurt anymore. The brutality is militarized to the point where they're aiming at journalists, taking out fucking eyeballs, sometimes not even outside of their vehicle, shooting from the fucking tank, like this is war. Beyond that, they have violated what has been put in the Geneva Convention as a human rights violation. Medics are neutral. And they were attacked. Asheville, North Carolina, they were fucking attacked. A paralyzed man in Fairfield, California was pulled from his car because he wouldn't put his hands on his head. Because he fucking can't. His arms are contracted. So when he resists, because he's paralyzed, they pull him out of the car, tase him, bare ass showing, and god damn it, they didn't put a fucking knee on his fucking neck! This is not the first time either. Cops bring convicts, what the fuck are we supposed to call them? They bring patients in. They're patients when they come to the fucking hospital when you've almost killed them. And they have them handcuffed because they can do whatever the fuck they want. Because they have no bearing or understanding of what is right and what should be done. There's no Hippocratic oath that says do no harm. There's might makes right. That's the only fucking code they know. And this is a bad position to be in. And you don't see those Second Amendment people stepping out. Maybe they're protecting shops, but they're not going toe-to-toe with the police, which is what the fucking Second Amendment was about. It was made to put the government in its place. And that is an awfully polarizing thing to say, but I don't know why. Because the police see it as us versus them. And if you're not with them, you're against them. And I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm pretty sure of the 330 million, roughly, United States American citizens, they're not all in the police force. They walk through the hospital in the ED, they see a couple of cops holding the patient prone on their belly, handcuffed. Turn him over. They flip him over. He's not breathing. He doesn't have a pulse, but thankfully he's in a hospital room and they can respond and bring him back. Couldn't do that for George Floyd. In fact, when the medics arrived, there was no CPR started. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It was a murder. We were made to witness a murder. A 22-year-old was murdered on his fucking knees in California without a reason. Officers are saying he had his hands in his pockets. They were worried about him having a gun, so they shot him while he's on his knees with his hands up. They didn't even get out of the car. I wish the United States would militarize their police, because that way, maybe the police would follow some sort of rules of engagement. Because for now, hate to end it like this, but on this episode of Forgive My Foul Mouth Friday, in my stage of grief, of anger, I gotta end it with, fuck the police.